Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It is time for Moon Shadows with my one and Ona. Hi, Ona.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We were just talking about the interesting weather that we've been having here.
Yeah.
It feels a lot like spring here, and just very temperate. And you yourself said that.
Yeah. Everything smells green.
Yeah.
It's all green. We had that a little bit of snow yesterday. This front came through. Today it's sunny, it's all melting, and stuff is green underneath. It was green before. It never really truly froze.
Right.
Which is,
but
a whole bunch of other stuff.
It's still February. I mean, for us, this is when we get all the snow. January, February is usually like we get inundated.
I know. February is always a time, and I'm watching the days. I'm like, we always get inundated. Their biggest snowstorms are always in February, and we haven't had anything. This is, like cautious. I feel very cautious about this.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go planting anything, but
not yet. No, not outside. You know what? Giblets, please. He's stomping his feet.
That is so cute.
Let me just put him on my lap for a second and see if he'll calm down. We could still talk about this, but he's going to be you know what? We tried to not do this by throwing treats around, but I think I made it worse maybe. All right, come on, buddy. Come on. I know. And he loves your voice, Usually when he hears your voice, he's sitting next to me when we're in class at night. So maybe he just wants to see you.
Hi, Jibs. How's my big boy?
Sorry.
How's my big boy?
So yeah, that's the type of breed they are, they just they're just big babies, and they always want to be in your lap, and I trip over them all the time. Now he's like perfectly calm. So yeah, we can continue.
So we're looking at the new moon in Pisces, and that's happening on what day is it again?
It's Monday. At 1:05 Central Standard Time. So that's going to be like midnight. It's either going to be the 19th or the 20th, right?
For depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it's kind of an exciting new moon. We just had the new moon in Aquarius, and we started that new moon with with the Chinese New Year's and all the mass shootings that happened on that day.
Yeah, I think Mars has to take some responsibility for that mess.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And so now we're in this new moon in Pisces, and all the new moons are really happening at the initial degrees, right?
Yeah.
Seems like the new moons are happening around 1 or 2 degrees. The full moons are happening around like 16, 17 degrees. And I think it's going to be the same with the full moon coming up. But the interesting thing about this new moon is there's a lot of things in Pisces right now.
Yeah.
And the things that are in Pisces love being in Pisces, right? Neptune in Pisces and Venus in Pisces. And of course, Sun and the Moon, they don't love or dislove being in Pisces. They just are in Pisces, right?
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I could pull up the chart. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, I have it in front of me.
We can look at it right from the get-go, as they say. And I think what I want to do here, and I'm not sure if this is it.
It's interesting. I think it's fair. Would it be fair to say that all this stellium in Pisces here is sort of setting the stage for Saturn moving into Pisces?
Yes.
I know, scaring people, but it's nothing to be scared about.
No, it's as if the Sun, the Moon, Neptune, and Venus got together and are preparing for the party that's going to be Saturn.
Appetizers.
Yeah. Setting up the room, so to speak. So this chart that I have right now is an Aries rising chart. I haven't. We can look at the how it falls in the United States just to kind of see what we might see here. But I like this chart because it kind of represents the archetypical picture that we're looking at, and we can see that there are planets that are like at the end of their degrees. And I want to point out that Saturn is at the end of Aquarius. Aquarius is a Saturn ruled sign, so Saturn in Aquarius is pretty powerful in its Saturnian ways. When it moves into Pisces, it's of course less so, because Saturn is about structure and Pisces is about dissolution, right? We have Pluto at the end of Capricorn, right? We're going to have Pluto move into Aquarius on the 23rd of March, right? We have Venus in the last degree of Pisces. Venus is going to go into Aries later that day, I think. Let's see, it's a 2. So I have a 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So
an hour later, 2 hours after the new moon.
Yeah, it's actually 50 minutes after the new moon. 50 minutes after the new moon, Venus moves into Aries. And one of the things I like to look at when I look at a chart, of course, we're going to talk about the Sabian symbol for 2 degrees of Pisces, because that's where it is, right? That's where the new moon is. But I would also look at the Sabian symbol for Neptune and the Sabian symbol for Jupiter, because Jupiter was the original sort of ruler of Pisces before they discovered Neptune, right? And the symbology is so very interesting. And I think it takes what you said about, did we say this on, I'm not sure we actually said this online, or if we said this in the pre-call, about a sense of feeling like really connected to your environment.
Just before.
It was before, right?
Yeah.
Now you had a song that was coming up for you. You want to talk about that?
Repeatedly, the song, and we can post it in the like description, and I'll probably do that again. It's called Tropic Morning News by The National, and the lyrics in there are about what happened to the wavelength we were connected to. It's something's changing, and that's how I feel about this new moon, is that we're so connected to stuff that's outside of our physical environment virtually. Even if in the same environment, I get text messages from nurses who are a floor above or a floor beneath me all day long, that we need to connect to our physical surroundings, like really get to know what's happening in our non-virtual reality.
Yeah.
That's how I feel this new moon is making me think.
Well, let me, if I could, read the Sabian symbol for this new moon. It says, a squirrel hiding from hunters. That's the symbol. The individual's need both to ensure his future subsistence, knew I was going to have trouble, and to protect himself from aggressive social elements. Talk about being aware of where your resources are and the need to protect those resources, right?
Yeah.
It says here the key word is self-protection.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because I wouldn't necessarily equate self-protection with Pisces.
It feels like that, though.
I know.
Yeah. It feels like that.
So let me just continue with the Sabian symbols here, because we're going to look at the Sabian symbol for the sun moon, right? Now, the ruler of Pisces at 25 degrees of Pisces, Neptune, a religious organization succeeds in overcoming the corrupting influence of perverted practices and materialized ideals. The power of the soul to intervene in the personal life and to induce a necessary catharsis. So what I wanted to do is, I kind of know what catharsis means because I've had so many myself. But I figured, let me look up the definition, because I was like, I want the official definition. And the official definition of catharsis is the process of releasing and thereby providing relief from strong or repressed emotions. So I think some of the issues that we may come up against where we need to be aware of our environment have to do more with the repressed emotions of the people around us or ourselves, because if we repress it, somebody's going to express it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing is to look at Jupiter, right? Now, Jupiter is in Aries. So Aries is that sort of new energy. And interestingly enough, 10 of Aries is a teacher gives new symbolic forms to traditional images. The revision of attitude at the beginning of a new cycle of experience. So I feel like this is like a little, just like the sun and the Venus and Neptune came in to fix the room up, and the sun and the moon is fixing the room up for Saturn, right? I feel like this energy is setting us up for the whole new sort of dimensional frequencies that we're in now.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going to be difficult, I think, because people are seeing the new with the eyes of the old. And I think that's where the danger lies. We need to see with new eyes, but not everybody has their glasses on yet.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's part of what Saturn and Pisces is going to show us, because Pisces is and to a certain extent, I think Pisces is very much a rose-colored glasses kind of energy, you know. But maybe it's okay to have rose-colored glasses on occasion. Maybe it's okay to see the greatest and the most ideal possibility that's possible for us, right? I don't know.
I keep hearing the word Venice in my head. So I think of Saturn, the structure in Pisces, water, and how we think of Venice as like a very romantic city. And, you fall in love, you have to get into a boat to go get a pack of cigarettes, like just like everything's romantic about it. But people that live there, not good, right? It's underwater. They have their resources are limited. There's stuff that's happening underneath that needs to be fixed.
One of the things about Venice, because Venice is one of my favorite places that I visited on Earth. And of course I have a moon in Pisces, so why wouldn't I love Venice, right? I mean, it's like Pisces Palooza, right? Is that all the little islands are connected by bridges, and the bridges are as important. And there's this interesting energy. Have you been to Venice?
Never.
So when you get to like the top of a bridge, you'll often see two people kissing. I don't know what that is, but it's like bridging the gap. I think, so I keep getting, oh my God, this might not have anything to do with Pisces, but I keep feeling like we have to we have to create bipartisan things.
Yeah.
So my first, and I don't agree at all with I'm lucky I agree with the Democrats half the time, because to me they're a little too corporate for my taste. But in general, like, I don't really agree with the Republicans at all, but I feel like we still need to come together, and I was thinking we could have like a bipartisan pancake breakfast with blueberry cranberry pancake where like everybody like gets together no matter what affiliation you are, and have breakfast together or something. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
They just have to check their guns at the door, I guess. God help us.
But the idea, the symbol that new symbols are coming in, a new ideology, And we were talking before about like, you're like, I'm wearing green and it's not really Piscean, but maybe some of these old things or these things that I reference, I have a book, that I think it should connect. Maybe there's more to it, maybe green is more Piscean, more of a Piscean color than Taurus.
Yeah, for me, it's the shade of green. Like Pisces
Oh yeah.
is soft, like a soft green to me, whereas Taurus is like that bright, like when the trees first start to like
Yeah.
bloom, and there's all those bright greens. That's kind of Taurusy to me. And then of course dirt, the color of earth
Yeah.
is very Taurus to me. So, but of course we have Uranus in Taurus, right? And we have the North Node in Taurus. So, and really the North Node and the South Node are the few things that are actually aspecting the new moon here, right? It's wide too. It's not even that close. It's kind of a trine. The trine is definitely a trine. The sextile to the North Node is a little bit wider than we like to have sextiles, right? Over here. But we still have that. And you know what? Let me include the
and Uranus and Mercury are squaring. So that's going to be like, like write stuff down, start writing stuff down.
yeah, and the square that's coming, so it's not exact yet, it's in a couple of days later. I'll tell you when that happens.
Hopefully before Saturday.
What do we
But before I work, I plan, I have an idea of what's going to happen at work by looking at the chart that day. And
I don't see it. I know it has to be here. Where the hell did it go?
the exact square.
Yeah. It's weird.
I thought I had it that day. No, it's not that day.
Oh, the
It's
21st.
it's a wide square that day.
It's the 21st, which is the day between when the sun goes into Aries, Venus goes into Aries, and then we have the square between Uranus and
No, the sun's in Pisces. The moon moves into Aries that night. After our Pisces new moon, the moon will move into Aries.
right,
The sun's
right,
in Pisces.
right. Sun's in Pisces. Yes. Venus moves into Aries. We have a new moon. Oh, that's the new moon in Pisces. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. So we got the new. So a couple of days. You're right. I keep thinking like, I'm sorry. I'm just having a brain fart. But then, oh, then we have Mercury square Mars right after that. So there's this sense of it's sort of all coming at once. We have the new moon, we have the Aries Venus, we have the square between Uranus and Pisces, and then a trine between Uranus and Mars. No, Neptune, no, not Uranus. Mercury? Mercury and Mars. Mercury and Mars. So it's like there's some sort of marching order, and then we move on it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah.
Which not that hard to do, honestly.
There's a lot packed into this new moon. That's why, people are like, oh, it's so powerful new moon. This is a big one. This is a big one. Like
they're actually
apart all the elements of things and start to put it together, and everything that's going to happen, all the planets starting with that, all the planets that are in the end of their degrees. This is a huge purge,
a catharsis. So this is with everything else in it, with all the asteroids and stuff, so it fills it out a little bit. And we can maybe see some more connections to the moon and the sun. So let's see if there's anything else here. We do have Ceres here. That's opposite Vesta. That's pretty tight. Vesta is the is sort of the spiritual core of, it's like the hearth fire. It's like and especially in Aries, it's like keeping the eternal flame alive, you know. And then
Yeah,
we have
I
Sirius.
wonder if there's gonna be more seismic stuff. Ceres opposite Vesta makes me think of, cutting down something in the house, like cutting out something in the house.
You know what it
Like the
sort of
foundation.
resonates for me is there could be some legal thing that comes down. There could be some announcement or something, and everybody's waiting for like Trump to be indicted, or for people to be indicted, or for things to come out. There might actually be something that comes out with that, with
Okay.
Ceres like reaping, right? With
Yes.
reaping.
Yes.
All right, let's see what else is here. Really, still there isn't a whole lot connected to this new moon as far as other planetary stuff. Although we have to consider that Saturn is conjunct this new moon. It's interesting because the new moon in Aquarius had just come off a conjunction to Pluto, and this new moon in Pisces is just coming off a conjunction to Saturn.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. And I'm also interested in seeing what exactly is going to happen when Saturn gets to this degree, right? 133. What's going to happen when Saturn, after it moves into Pisces? It's only going to be a couple of days after. So on the 7th, it moves in. And then within, I would think, a week, it's got to be to that degree already.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that. That'll be interesting, because it could be like an instantaneous manifestation of whatever seed was planted at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just see if I can find a date on them. Let's see if I can. Okay, let me just do
That's
one.
interesting, because that is instant manifestation is the thing that it is coming up. It's a super powerful tool. And it's something we're kind of used to, because we have a whole generation now that is like Amazon kids, right? You want something,
Right.
you put it up, you get it, it's sitting at your door the next day.
I know.
That's instant manifestation.
So I did pull up the chart for this new moon for the US, if you want to take a look at it, while I look for
What I was
summer.
looking for the last new moon. That would have been, and see what kind of notes I had written down, or what kind of stuff I put up. Apparently I tasted pastrami. I have that written down.
Have you had a pastrami sandwich since?
No, this was in January. No, I don't eat meat. I don't know why.
I don't even know what pastrami tastes like. All right.
I know it's spicy. I'm sure I've had pastrami in the past, but see, those are my notes. Like if somebody found my notes and looked at this information, they'd be like.
So the day that Saturn, oh my God, this is so funny. The day that Saturn comes up to the point of the new moon is the 21st of March. So that's the same. That's when the sun moves into Aries.
That's
right?
that's the equinox.
The equinox. And then on the 23rd, Pluto moves into Aquarius. So that I definitely think something's gonna.
Yeah, really, you know what? That deserves a whole episode and altar and special smoke and whatever else is, because that's a real powerful move, and there's no way you won't feel it on some level, even whether you're woke or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a big shift.
And my question is, what's wrong with being awakened?
I don't know. I think that would be like awesome. Yeah.
Well, I think it is
not
awesome.
a bad thing.
I think you are. I think you are. I think I am. I think most of the people, excuse me, who watch us.
It's not a bad thing. right?
Not in my book. I would rather be awake than sleeping.
I know, that's what I don't
Although
know.
I do love to sleep, but just to dream, to sleep per chance to dream. Isn't that some sort of quote?
And I think that's a part of this new moon too, right? The the sleep cycle disturbances that happen when everything's in Pisces like this. I mean,
Well, I was going to set up a tree of life for that, but let me see if I can do it this way. Just, I'm going to stop the share for a second so you can see me bigger. So on the tree of life, right? On the tree of life, Pisces sits right here.
mhm,
Okay. And so we have the sun, the moon, Venus, and Neptune sitting on this path. This is the path between Netzach, which is the path of Venus. Venus is in Pisces with the Earth. And the Earth, when the sun is in Pisces, the Earth is in Virgo. So we have this Venus in Pisces and all this Pisces energy getting activated, going to this Virgo Earth. And of course, Virgo is about healing, right?
yeah,
So this is a wonderful expression of healing. The other thing about Netzach is the forces of nature.
yeah.
And whenever
That's
that,
where all the green is coming in. It is the forces of nature, right? I know, I'm looking at the circle. I'm like, can you not taste like I gotta go get Swiss chard. That produce roll, I really, I don't think I even need to put it on a list.
right, right.
It's
And
really
I would suggest, at this time to make sure as best you can, because it is kind of out of season for greens, but to make sure you're getting your greens and getting you want to make sure you're getting your minerals, like the minerals that, because most food that we eat is lacking in minerals because of the way we farm, right?
yeah,
Unless
yeah.
you're getting organic and you know where you're getting it from. For the most part, the stuff we buy at the grocery store
Mhm.
doesn't have the same nutritional value as it used to.
It's totally different.
In
It's
fact, the
totally
food,
different.
I don't know about you, but I eat meat. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm married to a chef. Now I'm disappeared. Hold on. Just trying to get back. This is so Pisces, right? Look at this.
It is.
Come on, man. Get me back in the picture. There we go. Um, but I've noticed the quality of food. And we try to buy the best. We do our due diligence when it comes to what we buy, because we are aware what we can afford to buy anyway, because we've
Mhm.
probably we'd probably get other stuff or different stuff if we can afford to, but it's expensive, right? So but the food doesn't taste the same. It
No.
doesn't taste like, we get organic chicken from this particular place that we like their chicken. And whenever I eat another kind of chicken, it's like, doesn't taste to me like food. It's
Yeah,
like so much of the food doesn't taste like food to me anymore.
yeah,
And I'm just like, well, I don't know what that's, everything feels a little plastic, don't you think?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't stand like going to the grocery store and buying produce in the winter. It's depressing to me. And if there's a tomato, if I see a tomato in a sandwich, like I got a walleye sandwich yesterday, I did have some fish after I did that video on Nikki Haley. So I wanted a
I need
walleye
to-
sandwich. I don't know if there's a relationship with that. The tomato,
Something's fishy with that girl.
the tomato in there, it was like just like paste. I mean, no flavor. You had to like pull it out of there. It was awful. I won't do that. And I have
I don't
lettuce.
eat I will have I'll have tomatoes that I won't eat. I'll look at them and go, I'm not eating those tomatoes.
Yeah.
There's no point. There's no point. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah.
they're just, yeah. So yeah, so I guess that's where the green's coming from. I am Netzach, which sounds terrible, but that's what that is. Netzach. So when this path gets activated, we get a lot more stuff coming through nature, a lot more storms and things, reminding us, that nature has something to say about everything. And it's going to be interesting to see what sort of manifests itself with this new moon. And we're still not quite there yet. So we can imagine that, of course, there'll probably be flooding somewhere or something like that. But the other thing I think we need
Pisces,
to mention
man.
about Pisces and Neptune is that it's correlated with poisoning. So that's something.
And you know what a great point. Yeah. The whole, like, you can overdo it. Something that feels good, you think might feel great if you have more of it. That sort of thing is this new moon, that Piscean energy. It actually doesn't work that way, but you can talk yourself into stuff like that very easily, right?
Well, Pisces is very much connected to the opioid crisis that we have.
No.
I mean, so that is something else we could hear about, things like that. So there's the positive side to Pisces, the idealism, the oneness, the healing, the compassion. And there's the other side of Pisces where people just dissolve away into whatever addiction they might have. So there's that happening.
Which is they're gateways. They're both gateways to have a mind or mood altering substance is opening a gateway to another dimension, another thought process. So if it, either through meditation or just getting familiar with the surroundings around you, plant medicine, I'm all about. I think that's a good idea, but not too much, because with that, the imagination can take you to maybe a dark place. We're processing healing. Where's Chiron? Chiron's got to be doing something.
Chiron's getting closer and closer to a conjunction to Jupiter. I mean, Jupiter's getting closer and closer to because Chiron's slower than Jupiter. So it's within
more aware of something we got to fix.
It's within more. Let's pull that up so we can talk about it while we're looking at it. Here's Chiron at 13, right? Chiron is sextile Mars still. We have that sextile to Mars. This particular new moon for the US is falling in the 3rd house.
Yeah.
Which is the house of mind. This is also your like neighborhood.
Yeah.
Your neighborhood. So we might see that Pisces energy in the neighborhood.
This is a time when it's usually cold outside. The sewer lines break or the water mains break because it'll get suddenly warm and the metal stretches and the pipes split. They've been repairing stuff for years around here. I mean, one street at a time, but this is when all that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
The transition time. So how about what would you say has any crystals come to mind or anything you want to put on your altar?
Yes.
I have my fish up, see?
Yes. Yeah. And I put the fish up too. That was Jupiter leaving Pisces. That was fun. I actually I have a deck of crystal cards. I put it on the map last night. So I pulled a card this morning.
Oh, good. What'd you get?
I got Rhodochrosite. Interesting. And that was where my journey started. I'm like, come on, Pisces, pink, how could that be? But you know what? It's about, and talking about eating stuff that's green, healing at that cellular level, helps you face each day with a positive attitude, helps you express feelings in a positive way, opening the lines of communication without fear. This is a powerful tool for anyone who has difficulty expressing themselves. And I think about the governor of Ohio, who checked himself in for clinical depression, also very Piscean energy, and didn't try to tell people he's just there for exhaustion or, to monitor his cardiac status or anything like that. He's like, I am in the hospital because I am clinically depressed. And now that's opening a gateway for people to not feel so bad about depression, especially coming from a man. Right? I saw that piece last night and I thought, so super new moon in Pisces. I wonder what his chart looks like, because finally it's, somebody is going to start to heal, because it's not something that's so scary to talk about anymore.
I just read that John Fetterman went into the hospital for depression.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he's from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Oh, got the cloud of.
Well, this toxic event that happened in Ohio was on the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio, and because you said Ohio, I was thinking of DeWine, because I think he's the governor of Ohio, and he was on because of this and this movement of toxic chemicals through neighborhoods. And then the reason that there was a failing and this happened was because the Trump administration took the need for like certain kinds of brakes on these things to stop the train. Like if something happens, this train should stop instead of keep going and then blowing up. And so so it's almost like one of the things that, and I hate to make this political, but one of the things that Trump did was he wanted to get rid of all. Remember, he said, whatever things you think we should get rid of, we'll get rid of. We'll vote on it, or we'll just decide. So he was just talking to all his cronies who gave him money to say, what do you want me to get rid of? And he got rid of them. And a lot of it was these safety concerns and these environmental concerns. And I think with Saturn and Pisces, that all that's going to get tested. All that crap is going to get tested. And so unless we get ahead of it, luckily, I guess we're doing infrastructure projects. Yeah. So at some, at least we're into looking at the structure. But I don't know, man, it's going to be.
I don't know, in Chicago, infrastructure projects means it's pretty political.
I know.
And if they're removing quality control managers from some of this work that they're doing, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that all what do you calls out. At least we're looking at it. I mean, we may not be doing it right, but I come from the place where the big dig happened. And that was one of those projects that was supposed to take a certain amount of time. It took twice as much, 3 times the money. And, a lot of it was abuse from, I hate to say, there was a lot of abuse from unions.
Yeah.
They were charging a lot. So it's a very union oriented state. That's why it's so expensive to do anything here. Yeah. So there has to be a balance between that and the other, where there's no. So I think that's the whole idea of the bipartisan. It's not just bipartisan, but it's like coming together and deciding what's best for us, what's best for the people.
I know, and but you know what? Those things happen after a chaotic event usually, right?
Oh, we've had plenty of those.
Yeah. So that'll happen. We'll help our people when we don't have a choice. Well,
with Pluto in Aquarius, I mean, that's going to be another test of this stuff, right?
Yep.
So that, I think that's something we might want to do something on. Maybe we could do a discussion, or I don't know how to do lives. Do you know how to do lives?
I did a live. I think I did a live when Biden won for 5 minutes. I don't know. I was running around the house, banging pots and ringing bells. Turned on the live button and just was like, ah!
I just think it might be neat to do something where people can ask us questions. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be? Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to figure that out. If anybody's interested in that, or if anybody wants to help us to figure how to do that, I'm
Yeah.
very open to any kind of help that will help us to understand like what this is that we're to give us some
Yeah.
perspective, because I feel like we're going to need a lot of it.
Yeah. And whatever you're feeling, it's okay to feel it. This is that kind of moon.
Yes,
Go ahead and feel it and be,
catharsis.
yeah, definitely. If you got to scream into a pillow, that was one of my favorite things to do. When I first got out of nursing school and I worked at Loyola and I learned about that technique, I did that a lot. Or I'd scream in my car on the way home or something. It's, get that voice out and just get that energy out.
Yeah, sing at the top of your lungs, whether you can or not, right?
It's a very musical moon.
Yeah. Well, Pisces is
Yeah.
very, very musical,
Yeah.
very mystical. So it's an opportunity for us to really like open up to that, because the door is open.
Yeah.
The door is open, and Saturn's going to come along and test all our dreams and our aspirations and the possibilities. And some will be able to put roots down and grow something, and other things are going to be just out of the realm of possibility. And I think that's some of the stuff we're going to learn with Saturn and Pisces anyway. So I was thinking, as far as crystals for your of course, aquamarine always comes to mind with Pisces, right? I would put a symbol of a fish of some sort. Maybe you have a fish. Maybe you have one of those fighting fish. That would be something interesting to put on your altar. Along, and then as far as Pisces, when it comes to the tarot, it is the moon card. I'm not sure I would put the moon card on my altar.
Yeah.
Because I think we don't really necessarily need the moon energy on our altar at this time. But you can. I mean, you can. It means different things to different people. So I wouldn't say don't. I personally am not sure I would put the moon up there, but I'm a Cancer and the moon's everywhere anyway in my house. So it's hard to avoid it. It's not like I need to put it on my altar. I am it.
Yeah.
How can you? A Cancer with the moon in Pisces. Woo! This is my moon. This is my moon. So this moon's on your Saturn.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Yes, it will. 3 years. 3 years. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
At least I'll be
all
home.
the beautiful creations that Ona's going to make. I mean, let's see. Do I have any here? Wait a minute.
I might be up that night because you know what I did? I actually got some things ready. Pre-cut, put some magnets in.
See what I mean? She's already creating.
I ordered some new tattoos.
Ona.
Really cool ones for the leather.
Ona.
Yeah. The white tattoos came out so pretty on the dark leather. I was really impressed because the white ink is a little hinky, but they came out really nice. So much fun.
Oh,
I know.
I love the way leather smells. One of my favorites.
Italians, those at Natuzzi leather, man. Good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, the skin that we're in. It's funny because Saturn, because this is skin. Yes. And skin is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn's in Pisces. So
yep.
The skin that we're in.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, is there anything else? I have Pisces out again.
I don't know. I think we're pretty good for right now. We'll see what the rest of the weekend
shows us, right? We will comment on our channels, as it were. But as always, this has been such a pleasure to spend this time with you. Hold on. Let's get my face in there. I want you to know I am totally, all I had today was a cup of coffee and some cereal, but I feel like I'm in an altered state right now, and I haven't, there's no reason for it.
That's how this Pisces moon makes you feel.
Yeah.
I know. Very easy to connect to things that are outside of your physical environment. So maybe it is that Saturn moving in saying, you know what, pay attention to your physical environment, because Pisces rules the feet. It's easy to trip over stuff too.
Right. When Saturn was in Aquarius, I think it was easier for us to mentalize some of the stuff. But in Pisces, it's going right into the emotional body, and this is a time of catharsis. And so if you feel like you're emoting for no reason, you don't have to have a reason. Reason is out the window, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Feel the feelings, be aware of your environment, watch what you're putting into your body, watch what's around your body. The other thing with Pisces is that it does rule sleep. And so if you have a cluttered bedroom, you need to declutter it. You need to, dust under the bed. You need to like get in there and make the place where you lay your head at night a sanctuary where you can get away from the world. I think that's going to be real important. You could start with this new moon in Pisces, but once Saturn goes into Pisces, it's going to be very, very important, I think.
Interesting.
All right. Well, on that note, I got to go clean my bedroom.
I just did it. I just cleaned out from underneath because I'm trying to downsize. So anything that was under my bed is gone.
Yeah.
All of it.
Releasing, letting go, new beginnings. Yeah, it's an exciting time to be alive. Although sometimes it just feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
All right, Ona, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again on Ona's channel for Moonshine. That's going to happen in about 2 weeks. We will let you know. Until then, and any comments you have, please feel free. And we'll see you again soon. I love you, Ona.
Love you too. Thank you.
And we love you all. Let me tell you, it means a lot to us that you spend time with us. Take care, everyone. Namaste.